A Dunedin woman who is fed up with living in a mouldy, cold and rotting rental property says she faced spending nights in the car with her son as there was nowhere else to go. Rose and her 12-year-old son moved into the Clyde Hill property in April, but soon discovered mould and water damage as winter settled in. She says she's been forced to seek emergency housing to escape a damp home that's making her family sick. Rose took our Dunedin reporter Tess Brunton on a tour of the house.
The worst part would probably have to be the kitchen ceiling. Yeah, I have made thumb holes and finger holes by just going to touch it, and my fingers have gone right through it. And that's the entire ceiling. So this is my biggest worry, is that it's going to come down.
Every time heavy rain or snow is predicted, Rose isn't sure whether her kitchen ceiling will hold up. A couple of bowls and towels lay around in case water leaks through, but she says it's absorbed by the rotten wood in the ceiling. She says the 3-bedroom house is not worth $330 a week when it's just making her and her son sick.
When I first moved in, I noticed the moisture, and I was told it was because the carpets had been done. I needed to move in quickly, so they have said that because of that they've let me move in when they weren't done. I never asked for that. I was quite adamant I didn't want to move into a house that was wet.
There is obvious water damage in the lounge, and most of the wooden windowsills are rotten. Rose, who doesn't want her full name revealed, says she fought to get out of the lease, but has stayed in the house as there is nowhere else to go. She's applied for several other rental properties, but says there are 20 to 25 people at viewings. With no new home to move into, she's considered living in her car and has approached Work and Income and Housing New Zealand about emergency accommodation.
And I can't stay here because I'm just sick, and I'm not eating, and I'm stressed. And yeah, I'm at breaking point, pretty much. And it's starting to affect my son.
Rose says she raised the issues with the realtors Mana Property Management, who she says told her to contact the Prime Minister if she wasn't happy. The management group sent her a letter in August saying they would repair the house, including repairing the roof over the kitchen, sending in mould specialists and requesting builder quotes to fix the windowsills and stiff windows. The letter also states Rose may not have met her responsibilities as a tenant to report damage or keep the house dry. Rose is outraged, saying she runs a dehumidifier and a heat pump on a dry cycle and airs out the house most days, but it's not working and it's costly. She's considering taking the management group to the Tenancy Tribunal.
The real estate are claiming that the issues I've had are my own doing. So firstly, I'd like them to take responsibility, and I'd like them to acknowledge that the house shouldn't have been rented. I moved into this house on the good faith that going through a real estate agency, you were guaranteed a good house. And instead, they've just blamed me for it. It's quite degrading.
Out of options and facing moving into her car, Rose has been allowed to move into a 2-bedroom unit at the retirement village she works at, as a temporary solution until she can find a new home to rent. New Healthy Home Standards, which will set minimum requirements for heating, insulation, ventilation and moisture in residential rental properties, will be in place by the 1st of July next year. In Dunedin, mō te hōtaka o te ahipone, ko Tess Brunton tēnei.
And RNZ's made multiple attempts to contact Mana Property Management today without success.